Hello there, a wild Silas appeared, and welcome to another episode of Gaming Woes. Episode of Gaming Woes I feel like I really shouldn't be doing. That I really shouldn't find necessary to do. But it seems like people can't get it through their fucking skulls about this particular subject. And that is, of course, a rising trend in what is now called, quote-unquote, swatting. Action in which somebody falsely calls a massive threat to any particular sort of gamer, online, live streaming, or otherwise. And has the cops, the fucking cops, not just the minimal couple guys. These are legit SWAT teams, people who are focused, whose sole purpose is for National Guard defense when the regular National Guard is around, and police who handle terrorism. That is horrible. Why do I even need to explain this? Why does anybody need to explain how horrible this idea of swatting is? I was gonna say trending. But regardless, this is such a stupid thing. How is this catching on? How is this any fucking good for anybody? Like, not even for the caller themselves, it does not end well. You can relieve a whole bunch of rage on a bad message, on a voice call, Skype call, whatever you do online. You can voice your rage through there. Granted, it's not gonna be a beacon of luster on your resume or whatever, but there is a perfectly safe, generally legal way for you to express your discretion towards rage at a video game, towards I guess you can't really prank in that sense, but this little prank type thing. That's what a lot of people are referring it to, but I don't think it's that. I mean, it could be, but I find that incredibly unlikely. Since this is particularly directed toward the gaming community, I think it's more of a revenge tactic rather than some sort of thing that people do for their own simple amusement. At least maybe they have some particular issue towards a YouTuber who's live streaming or something. Like I said, I don't know, there aren't, as far as I'm aware, the cases of this aren't in the double digits yet. But I've counted up to 3 that have been proven and that are ultimately being investigated as of right now. One of them having already been prosecuted. Now let me explain something to you. The reason why it hurts the person who's doing the SWAT call, as well as the person who they decide to pull this little thing on, okay? The reason why it's bad for them is because I've got a link to a page that I've got up on my computer right now about filing false police reports. And according to this, it says that somebody who calls in a response toward a crime gets a near equivalent charge to the crime that they've called in. That is a horrible thing for the person. That hurts the person who calls it in massively times more than people who get victimized by these people. It's horrifying. You wouldn't believe how bad it is. And so many freaking police stations monitor calls, check to see where they're coming from. Granted, a few slipped through the cracks here, but I swear to God, this is the case for me. My city, I know for a fact, has a freaking track record of people who've called them, who they have traced the phone number through. One time, I accidentally mashed my palm into a phone and called 911 and hung up when I realized what I did. This was like when I was like 9. And I hung up as soon as the phone rang once. And next thing I know, 5 minutes later, one cop comes knocking at my door. Okay, luckily I was alone, so I was able to explain to the guy, hey, I accidentally called, I'm sorry. My dad's phone number has a 9 in it, I'm sorry. So, in the end, I know for a fact, plus I've been to the station in this city, so I managed to find their recording device, their little trinket that allows them to track calls. I can't say what it's called right now, it's not on my mind right now. But the fact that people are calling in SWAT teams, fucking SWAT teams, like, okay, police call, maybe like, I don't know, a single man armed robbery, like that, even that's far. But it's nothing. It's chump change in compare to what's going on here. These are fucking SWAT teams. People are calling in bomb threats. People are calling in shootings, public shootings. People are calling in for shit that would crush a community. And it's all lies. It's all because some guy decided to fight you in an online harmless video game. Now, I am a huge rager when it comes to video games, especially in my older days. Never did I feel it necessary to even pick up a phone once during this entire period. I've broken controllers, like 4 controllers over rage. 5, including my Guitar Hero. That's right, I raged at Guitar Hero. Not single player. And, I mean, granted, I feel like I have a lot more control over my actions because I have a high IQ, but that's it. Regardless, I have control over that power. Not saying that anybody who's lower than me in terms of IQ doesn't have as much control, but they should certainly have the sanity to avoid anything that risks them going to prison over such a fickle, insignificant thing. I pulled this up right now. I'll put this in my description as well. One particular 15-year-old decided to swat somebody. Decided to swat a live streamer. Is this... I'm not sure if this is, if this is not the... This isn't the same, this isn't the same live stream that he called in for, but a 15-year-old was sentenced, trialed as an adult, and sentenced to 25 years to life in federal prison. 25 years minimum. That's a lot of your life gone. He's going to be spending all his life all the way from being a young 15-year-old, that's being a sophomore in high school. And he's going to spend 25 years. He's going to be staying there until middle age. in a life behind bars for that long. I don't need to be telling you that it's not worth it. I shouldn't be needing to tell anybody. Nobody should need to tell anybody this information about how wrong it is, about how dire the consequences are, about how you're wasting taxpayer money, your own money, by sending these SWAT guys out. This, I'm afraid, is one of the pinnacle, rudimentary points that shows us the consequences of overprivileged youth. They cannot be this corrupt anymore. We have to do something about this. I mean, I'm sure I can't stop these people. I can't convince a lot of these kids, these fucking kids who do this. I can't convince them by myself. We need to monitor the privilege that kids in our society has. Otherwise, this won't stop. And we need this to stop. Because I don't want to see any more kids going to prison. I don't want to see schools shut down. I don't want to see office buildings shut down. This happened. I watch the preachers all the time. I wasn't there. I don't watch their live streams particularly, but I am aware of what they do and their business. And I monitored a Twitter feed after realizing this, and there are pictures of people being walked out of office buildings, out of schools, out of so many public buildings, and being shut down. This cyber terrorism is something that we as a species needs to learn, needs to have the common sense. I rarely say common sense confidently, but this needs some common sense added to it. Because when 15-year-olds, and I mean, I could use that as an average. I don't want to, but I'm gonna have to, since this is the only age that I can find when it comes to these cases. When an average of 15-year-olds decide that they're going to call in these mercenaries, I mean, obviously not mercenaries, that's figure of speech, but when I'm done. I don't need to be telling you that people shouldn't SWAT other people. We need to control privileged youth. We need to not only control the privilege of youth, we need to make sure that every call made to any police station anywhere is monitored, has instant phone tracking. Because if we don't, odds are more people are gonna call. More people are gonna call in these false statements. So, don't do it, kids. 25 years is a long time. And granted, that's probably just for the rate of what he did. But any jail time, any billing, it is not worth the mere moments of triumph you feel after getting your so-called revenge. Live your life, let others live and let live, okay? It's as simple as that. Move on with your life, do something better, do something productive, be somebody. Don't waste your life and be nothing. Stay wild, everyone.